Hello, this is the Colorful Colored Republican giving you a podcast for mid December. And we have a great show for you guys this week. We have a couple things to talk about. It's been a slow news week, but a couple of things noteworthy going on. And of course, my phone's going to go off. But we have a couple things. AOC loses in an important race. We have Stephen A. Smith of ESPN trying to find out his political roots here. The View's always talking. They have I truly believe the View is still in TV because we conservatives, Republicans, we still watch their show just to get raged, but they still have their opinions. Obviously, now that Trump won, they're still talking. Um, Brett Cooper leaves Daily Wire. That's very important. It happened December 10th. That's absolutely a game changer. That's big news. I'm not surprised about it, but we're definitely going to talk about that later. And of course, the biggest thing of the week, we had the government shutdown. The government had until Friday. They had Friday until to figure out what the budget was going to be, and we'll talk and discuss that more later. But first, on the top of the news here, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, she loses the Oversight Committee vote. This would have properly put her in position to be the leader, the vocal leader of the opposition for Donald Trump. She was vice chair, and she thought being the most, popular Democrat there is, because like when I said in the previous videos, if you guys didn't haven't checked it out, check out my channel. But number one was Biden. He's going out. Deuces. You have number two, Michelle Obama. She doesn't want to be president. If not, she would have ran this time and probably would have gave us a run for our money. Three is AOC. She's there. Bernie Sanders, and we have Nancy Pelosi, who actually, she had an accident this week. And she's in surgery. But those are the most notable Democrats they have. And out of all of them, they're either on their way to retirement or don't want to be in politics. Michelle Obama. So the only one is AOC. So you would think naturally, okay, AOC would be the top contender pick for the Democratic Party. There's only one problem there. You see, take a look at this map right here. Um, take a look at this map. This map shows you where America is and how they're going to go in the future. There is only liberal cities. And if you were to look closely into this map, only metropolitan cities are are blue, and their neighboring counties. I mean, if you look at every single state there is, of course, they have their metropolitan cities, and that's where the majority of the population is. But the rest of the rural areas, they're red. They're red. How surprised was I to see Oregon, to see California, liberal California, as red as they were. But it just shows you how big these populations are in these big cities, and how much the Democrats have definitely taken over these cities. All these big cities, they're blue as can be, and if it wasn't for these cities, the entire country would be Republican for years to come. And actually, that's the future of this country. But yes, definitely AOC losing this. It's a major blow to the liberal Democrats because you see, someone needs to speak against Donald Trump. They're the opposition. They're the minority party now. So we thought naturally it would have been AOC. But with Kamala Harris losing, it just shows you that Democrats need to pivot. And I believe that's what they're going to do. They're going to they're going to abandon, I hope, knock on wood, they're going to abandon the woke agenda, and they're going to go to a more moderate, to a more how politics used to be. You're going to stop calling us Hitler. You're going to stop calling us racist, xenophobic, misogynist, all these things under the sun. Stop calling us that, okay? You would need to go back to policy. You need to go back to what politics is about. It's about ideas, about helping people, okay? And Democrats lost that idea, I believe, 16 years ago, more, 20 years ago, because they were calling George W. Bush Hitler as well, not just Donald Trump. So, but yeah, AOC loses. a big vote. And of course, I believe it was because Nancy Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi, the voice of reason there, she was lobbying for Jerry Connolly from Virginia to be named the next ranking member of the House Oversight Committee. And this is definitely an important position because you see, as ranking member, you are the central figurehead in leading, like I said, the opposition. So obviously, you're going to be the voice of the Democratic Party, and Jerry Connolly, he's paid his dude. He's been there the longest. He's senior member. He's a good communicator. For that's what the Democrats say, and picking him, he's definitely got the accolades for it. But everyone thought it was going to be AOC when they picked AOC as vice chair. Before, not now, before, they were grooming her for this position. This was her position, and she was going to go ahead and be part of the future. She was going to be the part of the future. I believe if Kamala Harris would have won, she definitely would have won this position, and she would have been running in, I believe, 4 years or 8 years, because Kamala Harris would have been going for re-election had she won. But thank goodness that did not happen. We have Trump, and but you know what? AOC, it's only been around the scene since 2018. She's been around 6 years. 6 years, and you want to anoint her your next, um, your next leader for the Democratic Party? I mean, Democrats really have no values. They definitely just go with what's winning. They go with what's um, they go with as far as, oh, you know what, she's more popular, we're gonna go with her. Forget your morals, forget your values, forget whatever makes you a Democrat, whatever that is. And I believe it's just going with what's winning right now. Because in a democracy, a majority rules, and for the last 16 years, a progressive agenda has been the majority has been the majority view. I believe that happily definitely started in 2008 with Barack Obama. Um, Obama definitely started bringing a progressive view to Democrats, and Democrats, they never denied it. They never shunned it. They always were like, okay, yeah, well, this is the leader saying this, and we're just going to go with it. And that's what got us, a Bernie Sanders running for 2016. Him saying, he's not, he doesn't mind being called a democratic socialist. I mean, if you tell any of these other countries, people in places like uh, that come from Russia, that come from Venezuela, that come from these countries that are socialists, real socialists, they'll tell you that it definitely doesn't work. But Bernie Sanders is here trying to usher a new regime here in era in the United States. And who's he starting with? The young people, of course. The young people, they don't know what socialism is. They don't even read the history books to know what that is. And a lot of, that's definitely gives them an advantage. But you know what? Definitely, AOC is a force to be reckoned with. She did win her reelection. New York is as liberal as can be, and she's there. She's in the mix, and she's definitely gonna be a part of their future. Now, she's only 35 years old. Okay, the bartender from New York, she's only 35. She's been in office only since 2018. And you know what? Republicans, we wanted her. Yes, more of the same, please. Yes, keep calling us sexist. Yes, keep calling us racist. And that's going to just run them into the ground. They're going to not win any other election. Forget the midterms, forget 2028. We got it locked in because obviously they're not reading the room, by trying to pick AOC. And a lot of Democrats, they wanted to pick her. Um, but the squad has been on a losing streak. Cory Bush, Jamal Bowman, these people were not reelected. So obviously, even the Democratic Party was going against the progressive agenda. Um, and that's mainly because of their stance and as far as Israel and Hamas war going on, being progressive, they want to, oh, free Palestine and everything else like that. And you have to understand, this country is built in Judeo-Christian values. Okay, we're very conservative, to the core. Okay, in God we trust. We put in our money, so we definitely we haven't forgot that, and we had a chance. We had a chance. Trump was out there in New York, campaigning, hopefully, try to get, AOC out. But no, she won again. And I believe, I don't think anyone else is going to run against her. If she won this election, with everything that happened this new cycle, I mean, this election cycle, I, she's going to be there to stay, definitely for years to come, sadly. But that's what happens. And you know what? After she lost to the vote to Jerry Connolly, Trump tries to, hey, run again, AOC, it's all right, don't worry about it. And then she starts joking about saying that, oh no, how embarrassed is it, that Donald Trump is consoling me over here because she didn't win. But hey, he's just trying to give you a pep talk. You lost, just stick with it, be there a couple of years, be a good team player, and then maybe you'll be in a leadership position later on. He's nothing out of the ordinary. But of course, AOC is going to joke about it, thinking like, what is this monster? And trying to console me at this my time of need. He's talking s behind my back. No, he's just telling you to keep with it. We have to deal with you. You're into politics, so obviously he's going to give you um, his condolences. You lost an election, and he knows it was important to you. And hey, better luck next time. It was basically what he's saying. But you know what? This is definitely a hit to the progressive agenda, and I'm glad it is because um, the woke mob, cancel culture, they started long ago. It needed to go, and this election definitely proved that as Trump won the popular vote. It'd been a long time since 2004. 2004 was the last time we won the popular vote with George W. Bush. So it's been a long time coming. 20 years is a long time for us not to win the popular vote. But we ran up the score this time. We did our jobs. We went out there and we voted. And this is definitely a stake in the heart of the woke agenda. And hopefully, you can only hope that people like an AOC pivot because people like Bernie Sanders, they've been like this their whole lives. She's still young enough that she can actually become a moderate. She can become she can help strategize the Democratic Party to become what more center middle, what they need to be. Of course, I'm not rooting for them. I'm Republican all the way. I'm just saying, I just changing the rhetoric. Stop doing these things that you've done. They created this monster as far as the environment they created, trying to say essential. What is it? Existential threat to democracy. This is total BS. But you know what? We're past that, and this election definitely lets us know where we're at with that. Um, and enough of AOC there. But next we have Stephen A. Smith of from ESPN. He's a sports analyst. He's been speaking about politics for quite some time now, and of course you could naturally see that because it was an election year. But lo and behold, he's got a couple of videos, just three at the bare moment that I counted. Stephen A. Smith talking about as far as politics. And Stephen A. Smith, he's been a journalist. He's been a sports commentator for a long time, and that was his realm. And but now he's touching a little, dipping his toe a little bit, as you can think, into politics. He done that in the past, but now he's a lot more vocal about his opinion. And his opinions has not changed. He even told you he voted for Kamala Harris. But why is he doing this? Why is Stephen A. Smith pivoting to politics and to other issues? Well, I think there is something to be note here as far as for ratings are concerned. You see, ratings in the NBA have gone down 25%. And I know I stopped watching the NBA after they started taking a knee and all these different things that they started doing. That them in football, when as soon as it took a knee, that's when I checked out. And a lot of Americans did that too, and that's when their ratings. But this is years past. Why are their ratings bad now? You would still think, okay, well they're they still think that sports are still progressive, that they still have the liberals are still part of it. What's going on? And naturally, I would say yes, but hold the phone there. The NBA is down 25%. The NHL is down 21%. Men's college basketball is down 28%. And women's college basketball is down a whopping 38%. Now, Caitlin Clark, of course, is not playing anymore. So obviously, the ratings are going to dip for the women's college basketball. But if you guys don't know, as far as the NHL and the men's college basketball, those things, I mean, come on. As far as their ratings are always consistent. And now they're going down as well. The NHL has been the most conservative sport there is as far as back in the United States. You know, you have players that they boycott wearing the LGBTQ uniforms because that's what they deem to do it, and they don't get a lot of backlash of it. They're not pro taking a knee, and their ratings are dipping as well. So, of course, sports as a whole is dipping, and I have an opinion about that, and what I'll tell you later. But back to Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith speaking on different subjects. The school shootings, we had that. Um, we had the United Healthcare CEO killing, and he's making videos saying, "Am I a Republican?" He's talking about the FBI informant and his opinion on January 6th. So he's talking. He's very political. He's very political, and the thing is quite puzzling because he's under negotiations with ESPN currently for a future contract. If you guys don't know Stephen A. Smith and ESPN, he's one of the top dogs. He definitely is the top dog in Stevie in as far as sports commentary is concerned, and he's doing this under negotiations as far as the political realm and other different things he's doing. Why is he doing this? I think he's doing this because you see, before Stephen A. Smith went to First Take, Stephen A. Smith has his show previously. He had a talk show, and I think that's what he wanted to do. That's what he was doing, and it didn't get good ratings. And he got ESPN for a little bit, and then of course Skip Bayless brought him back on Cold Pizza First Take, and then X amount of years later, ESPN is where they're at with the health of Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is a wonderful journalist. Politics aside, the guy is a genius. He's definitely a wordsmith as it comes to commentating on sports is concerned. And I do believe he wants to pivot from just speaking about sports. Um, of course, he's still going to speak on sports, but he's doing different, he's getting into the political realm. He's getting into different, as far as speaking engagements and interviews he's doing that are not sports related. So I do believe Stephen A. Smith wants to go to a talk show type deal. He wants to become the male version of Oprah or something like that. And he did that in the past. It didn't work. But now he has a position where he can take advantage. And I think he's trying to negotiate that. And if that happens, you heard it here first. He wants to have a new talk show. And is ESPN gonna, push it? I doubt it because he's not only gonna speak on sports, he's gonna speak on things that he wants to speak of. And that's what he's doing in the Stephen A. Smith show. Um, and you know what? And he has it on YouTube. But and he has a range of things that he speaks of. But if you want to just talk about what has he been talking about lately and his sports and other issues, his political um, videos are doing a lot better. He's been averaging just in Am I Republican and the FBI informant on January 6th, 600K and 400K viewership. Other issues he had have 20, 30, 50. I mean, obviously, YouTube is very volatile, but I mean, when he's speaking politics, obviously the people are responding to it. And I definitely, you know, I am appreciative of that because you see, Stephen A. Smith is what he's showing, what he's projecting. He's showing that he has felt betrayed by the Democratic Party. He felt that, and he said it himself, that the Democratic Party feels like, or they project themselves as, holier than thou than the Republicans. The Republicans are over here, they're nasty, and we're over here, and we have the higher mile ground, the moral high ground, like Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high, whatever that means. Yeah, okay. Um, but he believed that hook, line, and sinker. He tells everybody, you know what? I am a registered independent. He says that all the time, but he openly says that he votes Democrat almost exclusively. How can you be independent there, Stephen A? Are you even fighting for independent votes? Or as far as uh, normally people say they're independent, they're usually libertarian as well, but you're definitely in line with the Democratic Party as far as social issues are concerned. So you're just a Democrat. You don't know it, or you don't want to say that you are. But this definitely this political season has definitely changed for Stephen A. Smith, and he wants to talk more political. He wants to make videos like "Am I Republican?" You can watch one of my videos reaction to that. You're not Republican, Stephen A. Smith, but you're definitely enraging your base. I mean, Kamala Harris got 3/4 of the black male vote, which is largely um, your audience. Of course, white people watch you as well, but I mean, the brothers, they're sticking with you because you're a brother too. And but you're speaking on Republicans. I mean, come on now. Look at the election that just happened. 3 out of 4 voted Democrat, and now you're trying to give Trump his flowers, saying stop picking on Trump, saying that Democrats, they're the same. That's why I don't talk about politics. And why are you enraging these guys? I mean, don't you know that you're gonna start? It's gonna start definitely gives you some problems because people are gonna change their opinions about you. You may not be a Republican, but if you've been labeled a Republican, you're going to see what happens about with that. But I definitely appreciate his take on these topics because he does have a large platform. He does have a voice that is respected. And if you do know Stephen A., and he knows a lot of people in sports, he is liberal in that sense. But for him to speak on this will definitely help us with the black vote in 2026 and in 2028. Um, hey, he might not be a Republican, um, but he's definitely moving people more to the middle, and he's reporting on it. He definitely was enraged finding out, hey, there's more than 20 FBI informants that were there in January 6th. Then they were not supposed to be there. They're not assigned there. They had 3 FBI agents that were assigned to be in a January 6th crowd, and you have over 20 FBI informants there in that crowd unofficially. So definitely something was going on, and it raises questions. But we reported that long ago when it happened. It's not definitely mainstream media, but if you want to find out the truth, you find out. But you know, people go by what buzzwords say, what the headlines say, and they go with that. But Stephen A. Smith definitely shocked when he heard that information. But yeah, he's getting political. So we got another one. We got Elon Musk, and now we have Stephen A. Smith in sports. So it's definitely um, a point in the right direction. But some people don't change, and the ladies on the View have not, for the most part. But and what's going on with them? What's the first thing they tell you after Donald Trump wins in November 5th? Oh, you know what? If you guys have family members that voted for Donald Trump, feel free not to go to the Thanksgiving party because they're there. Can you imagine a Republican saying that? Oh, because of your political belief, we're not going, to Thanksgiving with you. We're not going to celebrate Christmas with you just because you voted for this person. I mean, come on, it's outrageous how these women think and how they feel. And again, these people are just a minority. They're the minority. America was taking it in every single time as far as, oh no, they're believing everything the mainstream media has been feeding them. But things have changed for the most part. As a whole, as the majority voting bloc, it definitely has. They're saying things, of course, like, Trump is a dictator, he's an existential threat. I'm telling you, when the liberal media says one thing and it's like an echo chamber, they just continuously repeat it, not understanding that they're creating this dangerous environment when you're saying an existential threat, when you're saying a person is Hitler. For people who know and study um, history, to say that, just to mention that, just to compare the two, is, oh my gosh, it's definitely troubling. But of course, Republicans, they don't go into that rhetoric. What was Trump saying? He was just saying Kamala Harris is dumb and Joe Biden is slow. Can you compare those two type of statements together? No, you can't. But I do believe that the View is on air because we conservative Republicans, we're watching it in the sense that we want to get enraged. Like, what are these ladies saying? What are these? And I'm there with you. You look at my View reactions. what they're talking about, and I just look at them just to get it, just to make myself mad for some reason. I don't know what. We're rage baiting is basically what we're doing. But what are the latest things that they're saying? Oh, they're saying that Elon Musk is the president now. He's controlling the government. Oh, we shouldn't have a businessman, a billionaire, saying these different things. So wait a minute. So in one hand, Trump's a dictator. On the other hand, Elon Musk bought the presidency for only like what $300 million. That's it. I mean, come on, come on. That's all it took. Trump's got billions of dollars. He doesn't need that type of money. And Trump's the boss. Trust me, he's the boss. Elon Musk he's diving into politics. He's going to get a whirlwind of what happens when you do that. Um, and it's showing quickly. I mean, Trump's not even sworn in, and they're already going after him. They're having memes and it's all sorts of thumbnails out there. I'm guilty of that as well. He thinks he could do politics part time, brother, but it's not like that. It's not like that, brother. I mean, I remember seeing polls out there saying that people like um, what is it? Rush hour traffic more than they like politics. I think it was like that 10% that they enjoy rush hour traffic compared to only 9% at the time. This was about a couple, like more than a decade ago. But people like rush hour traffic better than they like politics. So definitely, politics is a nasty game. We have two sides to every story, and if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. But yeah, the views they've taken some L's as of late. I mean, these ladies are still talking about the woke agenda. They're still talking about, the usual sexism, racism, xenophobia. But they're not doing too well. They're not doing too well. And their videos, well, speaking now on YouTube, I'm not talking about ABC, how they're doing their ratings, but their YouTube videos, they're not doing that well at all. I mean, they're doing only a couple, like 20, 30,000 views. That's it. I mean, it's not doing quite well. And actually, the videos that actually did well were the videos with Charlemagne. I'm not gonna call him Charlemagne the fraud is what I'm gonna call him. I'm not gonna say that blasphemous thing he called himself. And as far as Bill Maher and Charlemagne was there because he was speaking on, and you can see one of my videos that does quite well. Charlemagne busting out Joe Biden because he pardoned his son, and Joe Biden pardoning his son because he said he wasn't going to. Why are you going to say that? Just say you're going to trust on the justice system. No one's above the law. That's what you said about Trump, and definitely people are going to use it against you if you start saying things. So what happens? They repeatedly ask you, because that's what the media's job is: are you going to pardon your son? Will you pardon your son? If this were to happen, will you pardon your son? All you have to say, Joe, is what? Justice will prevail. We have a case to be made, and we'll see you in court. That's all you have to say. And we keep repeating that. He said, no, I'm not gonna, I am not gonna pardon my son. I'm not gonna pardon my son. He said that repeatedly. And what does he do? He pardons his son. Of course. So of course, a lot of Democrats, they're being portrayed. A lot of Republicans are rejoicing because now that definitely gives Trump a green light to on day one to definitely pardon all the January Sixers. And Trump's right. These people went to jail. They were tried. They were found guilty. And what happens? They went to prison. And he has within his right to pardon them. Hunter Biden has been declared guilty of these things. He's not spent one day in jail. And of course, Biden is, pardoning on his way out. He better, because Trump's not going to pardon him. So definitely, Charlemagne has something to say about that, and him and Whoopi Goldberg went back and forth on it. Check out one of my videos right here, and you'll see as far as what they were talking about. But Bill Maher also speaking on the election, because Bill Maher for more than 10 years has been speaking like a libertarian. He's been off put by the progressive agenda, even though he didn't buy into it completely. He definitely had questions, and has been questioning it for years. And he busted out the progressive agenda this election, especially with the results happening. He's saying that the identity politics got you in this mess. America's not buying it, and you have to change. You have to pivot your message. And of course, the ladies in the view don't like that. They're the ones saying that Kamala Harris ran a flawless campaign, obviously we know that's not the truth. Um, paying all these celebrities X amount of money, and going into debt. You have $1 billion, record numbers for any candidate, and you got that in 3 months. And you spend all that money, and you go $20 million in debt. You couldn't run $1 billion campaign, and you want to run the country. Yeah, okay, that's not going to happen. But again, Bill Maher goes on there and starts telling them, look, identity politics is not working for you guys. Get off of it. And I didn't make a video on that, but a lot of liberals, a lot of Democrats are, giving some pushback to the View and their take. And of course, it doesn't end there. It's not only just celebrities saying these things; it's actual Democrats themselves. Newly elected Senator Gallego from Arizona and John Fetterman from Pennsylvania, they went on the show as well, and these ladies try to bait these people and to saying certain things about the identity politics and trying to reinvigorate that. And but both those guys shut it down. I have two videos on that. You guys can go see those videos. But Gallego, of course, um, coming from a Latino background, obviously, he didn't have much growing up, and he definitely said that hard work, and believing in the American dream is where it's at. And yeah, this is a Democrat saying this in front of a bunch of liberals. I thought when people say, when Trump first started saying "Make America Great Again," which he got from Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan had the slogan "Let's make America great again," and Donald Trump just said it, "Make America great again." What's the first thing liberals say? When was it great? When was it ever great? People that talk like this, they are very much ignorant in the fact of what the world has to provide. What do they have to offer you? And you living in the United States, that in itself is a privilege. People talk about white privilege. American privilege is something else because in different countries, just by where you're born, I mean, you definitely don't have a chance. And not only American, you have so many opportunities, but Mr. Gallego, he knew this, and of course, he said, "Believe in the American dream. You work hard, you can succeed in life." And of course, the liberal, View members, they're looking at, "Oh, how can I combat that? I'm talking bad about America." So they took that L. And then, of course, Fetterman starts speaking on, oh, the Democrats weaponized the Department of Justice against Donald Trump, making these cases the 34 counts, felony charges, that was doctored up by the Department of Justice. The same thing as with Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden is guilty of sin with these things. Okay, so don't say that they were doctored up. He is guilty as it can be for this. Donald Trump's his counts are, you're saying that Donald Trump used campaign funds to pay off a non-disclosure agreement for Stormy Daniels. Donald Trump's got money. He can pay herself. He can pay it from his own pocket. He doesn't need to use company funds as one. Two, that's that is a federal um, as far as charge, which was 7 years after the fact. So you had to. I don't want to go rehash the things, but the state of New York had to do a lot of things to just make this case come out. And but of course they got what they wanted. They wanted to call him the convicted felon, which the ladies of the View continuously do. And of course, they tried to bring it back to January 6th or something other things. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not speaking on January 6th. I'm speaking on this case. They weaponized the Justice Department on Donald Trump, admitting to us that yes, not only Republicans are saying this, but Democrats in office are saying this. But again, had Donald Trump lost, had he been, would he be saying this? No. There's a lot of guys that are coming out like Stephen A. Smith, like Vetterman. These guys are speaking convenient, and Bill Maher also. They're conveniently coming out now that Donald Trump has won the office. They weren't 100%, standing on the table saying these things. Only Republicans were. But of course, oh no, wait a minute, Republicans are racist. Republicans are this or that. And now that Donald Trump won, oh no, wait a minute, you guys lost because of this. Oh no, wait a minute, you guys lost because of this. We've been saying this the entire time, and now you want to go out there and saying that, you know, oh, you want to have a voice saying that you're the voice of reason. No, you're not. You're just trying to pivot more to the moderate side to try to gain votes for 2026. But of course, destroying the woke agenda is what we're trying to do here. and of course, The View. Anytime you guys want to have a good rage, just go ahead, go on The View. Click on it. I can only see it at parts at a time. I can see maybe like for 2 3 minutes. Sunny, hostile, or Hostin. I call it hostile. I just, oh gosh, I can only take her in certain doses, like 2 minute doses, and that's it. I have to turn it off. That's all I need. I don't watch the whole thing anyway. Um, but the liberal media is on the downturn, and on the upturn is YouTube influencers, and that's why I'm here. And here to report that Brett Cooper from the Daily Wire, Brett Cooper, she's gone. She's no longer in the Daily Wire. She's not longer going to be in the comment section, which I've been watching for years. I love Brett, and yeah, Brett's gone. She built up the comment section to have 4 million subscribers, and the 10th of December, she just comes out and says she's not gonna be in the Daily Wire anymore. And of course, the first thing she says, try to you know bring down the rumor mill, is that she wasn't forced out. She wanted to get out herself, and there's certain truths to that we can definitely speculate on. But she definitely was, um, she's definitely one of the highlights that I've seen in the commentary as far as for Republicans. Brett Cooper, of course, she has a resemblance to Ben Shapiro, which helped her get famous. But obviously, her being a um, a wonderful commentator, um, definitely helped that as well. But you being looking like Ben Shapiro, being called the female Ben Shapiro, definitely is gonna raise her image. She got in the Daily Wire. She definitely destroyed it, and she definitely made a brand for herself. But I do believe there's certain way the things that have happened, the reason why this has happened, and of course now Brett Cooper's gone. Candace Owen is left before her. We're having problems here. And I do have an opinion on what's going on here. And it starts with Daily Wire. Daily Wire is a business, okay? Daily Wire is a business. They are ran that way. They're structured that way. They're behind the commentaries. You know, they give them shows and platforms for them to succeed. Okay, make no bones about it. They're there to make money, and for the most part, for what I see, they do things the right way. Well, so why? So okay, they're doing this the right way. Why is people like Candace? Why are people like Brett leaving? I do believe it's just that it just runs its course, because as Republicans, as conservatives, we want to be in control of our own future. We want to be in control of our own destiny. And working for somebody else, which is great. I mean, I'm sure they were well compensated for doing what they were doing. It's not the ultimate goal. And these ladies, they're still very young. They could, they're they're newlywed. They're hope gonna have babies now, and of course they're gonna want a more flexible schedule. They want to have more input into their creative um, um, studios here. But yeah, I believe it wasn't a money. I don't think it was a money issue because if it were money, they could just okay, we want this, okay, negotiate, talk turkey, and sign a dotted line, and lo and behold, you still have your show, you still have your platform, you still have your brand, you still have your subscribers. Why do you want to venture off onto yourself? Because I do believe they have achieved uh, a lot already. They don't have to, keep on grinding out there if it was just purely money. I do believe they do have other creative ventures that they want to venture out to. They do have inputs other than what the Daily Wire is providing, and to be their own boss. That's what everyone wants to desire. So I don't see them leaving as a negative. I do see them, going out there doing their own thing as part of liberation, and it's nothing against the Daily Wire, And if you're working there, that's fine. Keep on giving us a good commentary. I'm definitely gonna be watching them. I already subscribed to Brett Cooper, but there definitely is some things that people are mumbling around, as far as wedding photos being deleted, unfollowing people. There's some things behind the scenes that again, these are politics we're talking about. So this is internal politics, of course, but there is something there, and Can you like both? You can like both. I do like both. I still will support both. I'm not going to see anything negative about the other, because Brett Cooper was definitely ascending anyway, and then picking her up. They weren't doing her any favors. Okay, they saw the talent, they put her in a platform to give her definitely give her an audience to choose from, and she grew. She helped grew that to 4 million subscribers. So the talent is there. Daily Water wanted to compensate her, but she wanted to do her own thing, I believe, and that's my take on that. And you know what? A she's definitely gonna have a more flexible schedule and what she wants to venture out to. And subscribe to her. You know, she's going to her own new chapter in life, and I wish her well. I really do. I really do. And that brings us to the last issue of the week, which was the government shutdown. The government had until Friday. They had midnight Saturday morning to make this deal happen. And they had a deal ready to go. They've been speaking about it since October. It's worth $300+ billion. All they're trying to do is do a continuing resolutions to fund the government from now until March. Okay, so you can't pass it. They haven't passed the bill. They know they can't pass a bill. They never figure it out to pass the bill, so they do these continuous resolutions to use as stopgaps to fund the government. So, and of course, this is definitely a solution. And if you guys want to see one of my videos as far as the countdown for shutdown, go and watch that. Shameless plug. But yeah, they wanted to fund the government until March because see the Democrats they control the House right now, and we're going to control the House come January. And so of course they're going to try to get whatever they can from this government while they're still in power, and then lo and behold, when we come out there in March, we can do our own agenda, and that's what we're aiming for. That's what we wanted, and that's what we were going to get. But lo and behold, you guys open your big mouths and tell Elon Musk, "Hey, Elon, this is what we have. Yeah, it's 1,500 documents. You don't think he's going to go through that documents? Of course he did." And what did he say? There's a lot of pork in this thing. Of course, there's pork in it. You're gonna make you're gonna fund the government for 3 months, and you have a bill that's 1,500 pages long. Guys like this guy, you don't think he's gonna go look through it? Of course he did. And what did he do? Beep, boop, beep, 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 boop, beep, beep. He goes on Twitter and starts. Oh, I'm sorry, X. He goes on X and starts, saying what he believes. And it it definitely killed the bill in his track. Oh, these people in Congress are trying to give themselves pay raises. This is outrageous. And of course, people are not going to like that. And a lot of people who didn't like it also were Republicans. Republicans didn't like it as well because they were trying to make these. Because Republicans, they lost some of these seats to Democrats too, and they wanted to do certain things, for their community. Because as far as pork in some bills, Republicans were in there too. So it definitely it was killed. They killed the bill, and 1,500 page bill, which promises were made. People were handshaking as far as getting this thing done, so they can just vote on it, and they can go to have a Merry Christmas. But Elon Musk and it just his you know tweeting out there a couple things totally derailed this bill, and he actually came up. He didn't come up with, but I mean, they had another bill to come up with, and you know what? It wasn't 1,500 pages. It was like 140 pages. So we go from 1,500 to 140 pages, and Donald Trump approved this bill, telling Republicans, "Hey, let's vote on this. Let's no problem. Let's do this." But we had about 34 Republicans that defected from the Congress to vote on this, and we didn't pass that as well. So of course that looks bad too, because we're down. We're in control of the House come January, but we got 34 rebels already. Got 34 rebels we got to deal with that didn't pass Donald Trump's bill. So when that happened, of course, that's Donald Trump's not gonna like that. Elon Musk didn't like that either. So what did he say? Shut it down! Shut it down! He says. Oh goodness gracious! So the circus is in town. So they were trying to hash out a deal. They had until midnight, and you're gonna tell me sitting right there. You're telling me that I think they busted one out. I think 11:30 at night. Oh, the House passed it. No problem. The House passed it. The only problem is it passes the House. It then needs to pass the Senate. And when it passes the Senate, the president needs to sign it. and then it naturally becomes a bill. Midnight, 12:01 comes. All we have is a bill passed through the House. That is it. Now, were we in a government shutdown? Technically, we were because the government was not funded. They missed their deadline. They were supposed to have this bill done, and it did not happen. But so of course it passed Congress, and the Senate said they were going to vote on it early before dawn, um, and they needed 60 votes. Um, Biden wasn't there. Biden was nowhere to be found. You think Biden's there sitting in the White House waiting for the House and the Senate to get this bill done so he can sign it so maybe it can become a bill passed, a passed bill, a law. Do you think he's there waiting? No, this guy's ready for the exit. He left to Delaware already. Um, so he can't even sign it. So is it bill? Actually, all you need is 60 votes anyway, because that's what it takes for it to become a bill. The president doesn't need to sign it, but that is the process. Pass the House, pass the Senate, president sign. Okay, so we have everything but a signature. So, um, but when it passed the Senate, and it did this morning, um, it definitely avoided a shutdown. And besides, this quote unquote shutdown wouldn't have happened until January because a pay period is 2 weeks after the fact. So we definitely have our bill. We have until March to come up with something new. But one of the biggest things that did not happen, that Trump definitely wanted to happen, was for them to raise the debt ceiling so we can actually have something to go off on for the next 2 years. Um, but now, all of a sudden, now a lot of Republicans want to be conservative, fiscally conservative. They come on now, unless your name is Ron Paul, Rand Paul, you guys are as far as trying to cut government spending is not there. But obviously, Republicans have pivoted early, and they're not raising the debt ceiling, which is makes Donald Trump mad. It makes me mad as well because you guys, yeah, I got to fight with you guys too now. Come on, now we have the House, the Senate, and we have the presidency. He wants this, give it to him. Come on. The first year anybody's presidency is a honeymoon phase anyway. Give him what he wants, and then he's going to give us what we want. But we're having natural opposition from the left. Of course, that's going to happen. But we get 34 of our own people saying no to this. Oh, it's definitely going to set us back a little bit. Negotiations are going to be a little different as it goes. But that's not the only thing that came out of this. And I said Rand Paul, which gives a little good segue. Rand Paul floats the idea, Elon Musk to be the Speaker of the House. Technically, the Speaker of the House does not have to be in Congress. So if we elect, if you want to do real change, let him be the Speaker of the House. Why are you threatening me with a good time there, Rand Paul? Of course, that'd be great if Elon Musk was the House Speaker, but that's not going to happen. This guy's got a bunch of things going on in his mind. He likes a lot of his flexibility. Um, and actually, for me, I think a better pick will be Vivek. Him and Vivek. They're both billionaires. Obviously, Elon Musk being the richest man in the world, Craig. But yeah, Vivek will be more better suited for that. That's what you're trying to shoot for. But you have to understand when you're the speaker, whether you're Republican or Democrat, you're dealing with other people in Congress that want their agendas to get passed, and for you to get their vote, you have to do certain things, and you have to talk turkey and negotiate with them and try to put these things in your bill. There's a reason why these things are 1,500 pages, and even like when we got it, 140 pages. I mean, come on, is that necessary? But it is in some of these places, and it wasn't only Rand Paul saying that. Mike Johnson, who's trying to be, reelected to be House Speaker again, floated that idea as well. Oh yeah, I told him, maybe why don't you become the Speaker? He. Come on, man. Why are we playing these games? Why are we playing these games? So we're over here saying, oh, hey, Elon Musk become the House Speaker, and we got Democrats over here saying that, oh, King Musk over here is doing this. Uh, President Musk over here is trying to do this for the government. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I hope Elon Musk knows what he's getting himself into. I hope that Elon Musk does what he says he's going to do as far as with Doge. And he looks into the receipts and audits, gives a good audit. Um, don't stop there, go to the Fed. And, he definitely gets us pointed in the right direction because there is a lot of a lot of overspending, and he and Vivek have said openly already, without even looking at everything. Hey, give me until July 2026. We spent about what, $6 trillion, 6.75 trillion the other year. I got 2 trillion off the. Why are you promising things already? Don't be saying these things, but these guys, they doing what they're doing, and if they actually accomplish that, I mean, just accomplishing saving us 1 trillion is definitely going to help us. But they're saying 2 trillion, so that's definitely going to help us. Um, but yeah, no, we don't want Elon Musk as the key speaker. That'd be nice, but I doubt he wants to dive into politics knee deep. I mean, he is knee deep, but I don't think he knows what that entails. He was definitely supporting Trump for the election, and him helping us with Doge is going to help us a lot. It's greatly is a duty as helping America in the state that we're in right now. And but I do believe if you want to give anybody that's pro Trump the speakership, give it to Vivek. Vivek's got his own thing too. He's got his own family too, man. Got things he got to deal with, man. He don't want to deal with politics. Just leave Mike Johnson in there. Vivek, Elon, they're gonna talk to him, try to get a good deal out. Look at the numbers, come up with these, innovative ways of saving money, and we just call it a day. But I definitely want to, wish you guys a Merry Christmas, and you guys are to the end of this podcast here. Definitely, if you like it, please subscribe. I mean, come on. I mean, knowing the YouTube algorithm here, when are you going to see me again? Subscribe. Give me a like, comment in the bottom so I can better, this show, and you guys can definitely give your feedback on what you guys want to see there in the future. We don't have many Latinos out there in the Republican community, and I'm trying to be one of the first out there. So, giving my opinion, just a little tidbit on myself. Speaking on my first podcast here, um, I've been studying politics for 20 years. It's just not in school, just and just independently. I had an itch and I had to scratch it, and it was just Republicans, Democrats. They're both saying they're right. Who's right? And I just went down this rabbit hole, and it didn't take me long. It took me about I'd say less than 2 years to figure out that I was a Republican. And when I figured that out, it was just there's no turning back for me. And definitely learning more as it goes, and getting into this YouTube community because there's so many wonderful YouTubers out there that I've been following for years. And I'm thinking like, you know what, I could do that. I could do that. And definitely Trump winning here 2024 has got me thinking, and you know what, I need to do this. I definitely need to do this, and try my foot out here on YouTube. I have something to, I have something to give, and maybe that's entertaining while being informing you guys at the same time, because I myself watch countless YouTube videos every day, at least 10, at least. That's the low end, brother. And but definitely, if you like the content, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a comment down there, comments below, and watch the rest of our videos. And I'll see you guys next week, Saturday.